Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You know, over the years, we've seen some very, very dangerous fighters in boxing. And when I say dangerous, all of them are dangerous. They can knock you out. But I'm talking about scary, okay? I'm talking about the kind of guys, if they had the opportunity, they'd beat you until you're without a pulse. Those fighters have existed in boxing. And right now, there's one fighter, always knew he was tough, always knew he was brutal, always knew he brought maximum violence into that ring. But I'm telling you, man, the fight happened this weekend. Here we are, was it Tuesday? And my head is still spinning about what the hell I saw with David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde. Let me tell you this. I know what David Benavidez can do. I understand the speed, the power, the mental state, the chin, the heart, the find a way to win mentality, right? I know what David Benavidez can do. But I also knew what Yarde can do. And I said, to me, the first 3-4 rounds will be 50-50. Because I'm like, Benavidez is going to step to him. Yarde going to hit him. What happens then? They're going to scrap. It's going to be who can handle it. But after round 4, I said David Benavidez will pull away. But the first 4 rounds, I really felt that it's a matter of who lands a hard shot first or who can take the most damage. And Yarde just never got going. And the way he was beat down, violently destroyed, I am telling you, I've never seen Benavidez look that possessed inside the ring. I've seen his fights, man. I've seen them. Let's just go to the Caleb Plant fight, right? I saw that. I see when he beats the shit out of a guy in the round, how the round's over, and he walks back to his corner, he's looking at the guy, and he has that devilish grin. I've seen that. When he fought Andre, I've seen that. And everyone else that he fought, I've seen it. Just like y'all, I've watched him, and I've always said, that guy come to break bones. But after this weekend, I'm like, yo, David Benavidez, no kidding, is coming to KILL. And I ain't playing, man. He's definitely in the conversation for probably the scariest active fighter right now in boxing. It's not Terrence Crawford. It's no one else. There's no one else in boxing that's moving like Benavidez. What he did this weekend was something crazy. And the thing is, right, somebody was in the comments like, David Benavidez just wins. No. He's not just winning. It's how he's winning and how he won this weekend. So don't bring that over here. You know, I welcome mostly anyone's opinion. Just about 99% of the comments I welcome. But that one there, I tell you, I'd have to challenge you on that one. He's not just out here getting wins. Because of how he wins, I 100% believe he is the scariest active fighter at the moment, man. His fighting personality, it just seems to have really evolved into like controlled violence, man. You know? He just has a rare combination of anger that you see in fighters from the past who just wanted to destroy their opponent. Relentless pressure. He has a mean streak. His ass is mean. And he does not care about getting hit. That may be the only drawback. But as a result, in order to be the scariest active fighter, you can't have any fear. You know what I'm saying? You can't be worried about what's coming back at you When you the Mexican monster, you go out there, you do the biting. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about being bitten in return. No, you go do the biting. You go do the destroying. And that's David Benavidez 100%. He's not worried about getting hit. And when he does get hit, all that does is make him sit there and grin and laugh. Can you imagine if he was in a knife fight, someone stabbed him? All he gonna do, he probably say, ugh. Then reach down to where he got stabbed, put his hand on the wound, lift up his hand, see blood on it, and lick the blood off his hand. And be like, that's all you got? Be like, Pachoo. If it was me, I'd be like, pew. I don't feel nothing. But I see that shit, I'm out of there. I'm like, this dude crazy, man. He more crazy than me. All right. That's my son. He going out with his friend. But the other thing about David Benavidez, his volume of punches. So when you take a look at David Benavidez, man, he has an expanded gas tank. He doesn't get tired. You know, just having superb conditioning wins fights. Superb conditioning can win fights. You have somebody that gets tired, falling all over the ring, and they're really, no kidding, the more skilled, more dangerous fighter. But they get tired. The other guys just so happens to hang in there, and they get the biggest win of their career because of their conditioning. Conditioning is everything, man. And that's why I like to just draw attention to the fact that most pressure fighters slow down. They start to hesitate or they have to reset. Benavidez gets stronger as the fight gets uglier. And that's a fact. Whether it's control, whether it's chaotic, whether it's a mashup, crash-up, Benavidez gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's like driving a manual vehicle. You're driving first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. You're rolling. David Benavidez has a 6th, 7th, 8th gear. He is trouble, man. He wants to hurt you. He enjoys breaking you down. That's the thing. He enjoys seeing his opponent suffer. He wants you to quit. He wants to keep beating you and beating you and beating you until you quit. And he loves to be in the chaos. He loves the turbulence. He loves the nonsense. And that is just what makes him scary. You know what I'm saying? Makes him scary. But I'll tell you what, his hand speed makes him dangerous. You're at 175, he about to bubble up the cruiserweight. Let me tell you something. Even though I think Jaya Patai is a dangerous fight for him, I got to be honest with you. I can't just rule David Benavidez out. That hand speed he has makes him very dangerous. Big men aren't supposed to throw 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 punch combinations. They're not supposed to do that. We understand he's coming from 168. We understand. But the reason, because he was at 168, that's not why he has fast hands. That's not why he's able to throw those combinations. Because of how he's always trained. That started from years ago. So him as a cruiserweight, I can't see him going from throwing 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 punch combination now to a basic 1-2. He's still going to have that speed. He's still going to throw those combinations, man. And he is going to destroy those guys at cruiserweight. Now, Jaya Patai is the only one I'm not sure about. Some people say, nah, don't sleep on Zurdo. I'm not sleeping on Zurdo. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Zurdo beats David Benavidez. But David Benavidez, I think for sure, would be in tough with Jaya Patai. Because the thing is, David Benavidez has fast twitch speed. I don't think anybody at cruiserweight has that fast twitch speed like Benavidez. Jai is athletic. He's fast twitch. He's twitchy, but not like Benavidez. Benavidez is just different. And he can walk you down and maintain his hand speed. And it's the shots he throws. He knows when to throw his jab. He knows when to throw a shot to the body and come back upstairs. He watches when you step, when you lift up your foot, depending on how you move and what direction you're moving. He already knows what shots to throw. He's making all the reads while he's walking you down. And that just makes him a dangerous, dangerous fighter, man. And the thing is, he does all this while he's showing all 32 teeth, while he's smiling. And that shit is terrifying because you can just see the opponents just breaking down, crumbling like a cookie right there in the ring. But I'm going to tell you this. He wants to break you. Remember in that movie Russian with Rocky? I will break you. That's how David Benavidez is. He, no kidding, wants to break you. And no matter what comes back at him, you're not going to discourage him. He has strong self-belief. He is not a bully, but inside that ring, he has a bully mentality. And I just feel sorry for anyone who gets in there. He just has the mindset of someone who fights with a lot of emotion, but he stays composed. And you get some fighters who have the emotion, but they can't quite stay as composed as David Benavidez. That's why David Benavidez doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Even for someone with a trained eye watching, saying, okay, he's dropping his guard, he's squaring up. But David Benavidez knows what he's doing. Okay, he's not a rookie, and he's not reckless. Everything he does is with the reason. If he steps this way, it's with a purpose. If he steps this way, it's for a purpose. Everything he does can be justified and explained. If you think I'm wrong, well, okay, how about this? Why hasn't he lost? If he has all these vulnerabilities and all these weaknesses, right? What I've heard a couple of people say, well, then how come he hasn't lost? You know, let's be fair to David Benavidez, okay? I don't see all these vulnerabilities and all this shit. I don't see that. It's boxing. Anybody can land a shot, but I'm not seeing that. I see somebody who gets in there. They know what they do very well, and they do a lot of things extremely well. And they're a pressure fighter, and they know what works. And every time they get in the ring, that style just seems to take over the opponents and overwhelm them. And he goes on to get a victory, man. Now, the thing about this, right? Have we seen David Benavidez get hit really clean? I think we have. I just think his chin holds up to where he doesn't have the reaction to the shot the way his opponent is expecting. You hit him clean, all he's going to do is smile and keep walking. Shrug his shoulders, all right, that's what you got? Come on, let's fight. And let me tell you something, that shit makes opponents panic and makes them fold. Because you're hitting somebody with your best shots and they just basically shrug their shoulders and laugh like Cesar Chavez Jr. used to do when he was in his prime. Here's another one. You can hit him, bing, bing, bing. His head be all over the place. He'll look at you, laugh, shrug his shoulders, and bing, 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 and let his hands go. And Chavez Jr. would knock your ass out. David Benavidez reminds me of a prime Chavez Jr. When Chavez Jr. was that guy, you just couldn't discourage him. You couldn't hurt him, man. But, you know, he just didn't stay focused. But Chavez Jr. was another one. If he could have stayed locked in, Chavez Jr. could have gone far. Far. He did pretty damn good, but he just couldn't stay locked in. But David Benavidez is locked in 100%. And, you know, there are other fighters who are locked in and were doing the things kind of like David Benavidez, had that same mean, angry, trying to take your life energy. It's not just David Benavidez, man. Throughout history, a select few fighters were feared not only for their power, but their mindset. They weren't just punchers either. They were really feared because of their intention. Their intention was to hurt you. The one person who comes to mind, I know everybody right now probably figured this guy out. It's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson didn't want to beat you. He wanted to make you feel fear. He said, I want to hurt guys. I want to push their nose bone into their brain. Opponents lost fights mentally before the bell because Mike Tyson was crazy. And he was violent. And every time he got in the ring, that is what his goal was, to push your nose bone to your brain. Then there was Roberto Duran, Manos de Piedra. Roberto Duran is another one of those fought like a demon. He, no kidding, is another one who wanted to take your life in that ring. Roberto Duran wasn't there to play, man. He cursed the opponents, headbutted in clinches, he pushed, he elbowed, he was violent, raw, angry. He would spit on your wife, he'll cuss at your wife. He didn't care. He wanted to fight you in the alley after the match, too. He was just a violent person, man. And he wasn't in there to win on points. He was trying to break your spirit forever. He was trying to ruin you. Ruin you. Then there was Sonny Liston. A lot of people don't know much about Sonny Liston. The diehards, we know about him. When he stared at you, you could feel him sizing you up like prey. He broke jaws. He destroyed ribs. Felt like he was carrying all his life's anger into the ring. He was so feared that many fighters flat out refused to fight him. And some people say he arguably had the biggest hands in boxing. What's up, Pocho? You just hanging out here?
Just, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm almost done. But Sonny Liston was another one of those guys, man. Fighters just didn't want to fight him. They did not want to fight him, man. Then it was Marvin Hagler. He was always angry. Felt like he hated the world and the judges. Just felt like he never really got the respect he deserved. He was another cold fighter. Ruthless, man. Wanted to outlast you, outpunish you, run through you like a machine. And he didn't care what you were throwing back at him. He just wasn't gonna be outwilled. And it showed up in every one of his fights. And then, of course, recently we saw his son fight Conor Benn. We're talking about Nigel Benn. If y'all don't know about Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer, he fought like a street fighter with gloves. You know, Nigel Benn, he let his emotions pour into every single punch. If he hurt you, the fight was basically over. He didn't care if you were going down. If he can get 20 more hard shots in on your way to the canvas, he would. And he didn't care. He was a violent man. You can still see in his eyes. He's still a little Sesame Street. He's still a little Sesame Street. Even at his age. He don't care. You can see. He's on go. Green light, go. 24/7. But again, guys like Nigel Benn want to break you mentally, want to break you physically. And then right now, we actually have another fighter out there who's doing this to people, man. Arthur Benavidez. He's knocked out everyone until he ran to Bivol. And even he had Bivol, running around that ring in those two fights. But he hits you with bad intentions. Every punch is thrown to end the fight. He doesn't care. As long as you're there and you're in front of him, you can sit there, man, and throw up your high guard in full defense. He just start punching, breaking your wrists, breaking your elbows, breaking your forearms, breaking your shoulder, ripping and tearing your biceps, breaking your ribs. He doesn't care. Benavidez is a damn machine, man. I call what Benavidez does methodical violence. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. And if Benavidez is the scariest at 168 to 175, Benavidez is the scariest in the entire sport, pound for pound. But that is a fight that would be somebody will be hurt in that fight. If they can, because Benavidez is fighting Zurdo Ramirez and Cinco de Mayo. But if later in the year, depending on what happens with Benavidez and Bivol, if they ever have the trilogy, and they can make that fight with the winner of Benavidez Zurdo, which I think is going to be Benavidez, to fight the winner of Bivol Benavidez. If Benavidez happens to win, which is no guarantee because Bivol can fight, Benavidez and Benavidez, somebody's going to lose their life, man, because neither one is taking a step back. Neither one is taking a step back. But that would be a fight to watch. That would be a fight to watch. And then you had guys like Triple G in his prime years. Triple G, man, friendly serial killer energy. He'd be there smiling, hey, how are you? Hey, yeah, you're a good boy and all that shit. Big drama show. All that smiling and them interviews turned into cold energy, and he became a cold hunter in that ring. Triple G would knock that smirk off your face, knock your teeth out your mouth, break your jaw. He didn't care. He was feared for a reason. There's a lot of fights he didn't get because people were scared of him. Some people try to attack his resume. Let me tell you, they didn't want to fight him. A lot of those guys didn't want to fight him. When you see a man getting there, what do you have, 18, 20, and 19, something consecutive fight, knockouts, some just destroying people. Destroying them. People are like, hell no, I ain't getting in there with him. And that's what happens when you're a guy who's so violent and destructive and dominant. Like, people don't want that. You can understand, too, why people would avoid him. And then there was one, a real fan favorite, who was another one who would just destroy you. And that was, can't forget about Manny Pacquiao, toe-to-toe. Manny Pacquiao, he used to be mean, boy. His knockout streak from 2006 to 2011 was pure destruction. Barrera, Morales, Hatton, Cotto. He blitzed people with speed and violence that felt superhuman. You see, when he beat Morales was sitting on the canvas. He looked up, he said, he was like, hell no. And Morales wasn't no damn punk. Morales could scrap. But even Morales was like, hell no. This Filipino, send my ass back to Mexico. I ain't messing with this guy, man. So now that we've gone over all that, I guess the question is Benavidez the scariest today? And for me, I think Benavidez is pretty scary. But right now, I think Benavidez is. That shit he did this weekend. That shit was different, man. But you know, when you have that unique combination of size, speed, pressure, the mean streak, durability, power, obsession with breaking and destroying your opponents, that gives a guy like Benavidez a fear factor that you just can't teach, man. And no one at 175 is looking at him like, oh yeah, that's easy work. Nobody at 168 looked at him that way. Nobody at cruiserweight is going to look at him that way. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows you fight Benavidez, it's going to be a war. And you know if you get in there with him, he has no problem taking your damn life. So you better be ready. Biggie Smalls, baby, ready to die. Because David Benavidez is trying to give you that. I got to watch saying the KILL word. They flagged that shit on here if you say that. It happened with a video. I had to go and challenge it. They overturned it. But I'm like, damn, y'all really flagging videos for saying that? But they went and reviewed the video and saw how I used it, and they realized it was innocent. So they allowed the video to be monetized. So I got to watch certain words, and I realized that you really got to watch what you say. Anyway, any and everybody knows you mess with Benavidez, you better bring it because he is trying to destroy you. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.